So it'll allow Snapfire to still kind of, it's still awkward with how we want to play it, whether it's the, you know, utilizes the kisses or the destroying the egg, but now they've got a really nice lane matchup versus the Timbo. You have a lot of kill threat on him in the lane. It's a melee hero with the snap, which utilize that cookie incredibly well.
PSG.LGD.
And now sparking, they're gonna go Void here, but the lane matchup Rubik Mars, it is just a classic Ogre Void, which I just brought up before. Alliance was something that they thrived on. Like, this is when Alliance were looking incredibly strong. The Ogre Void, Nico on this hero, you know, we saw like the Maelstrom Midas build. You know, that's not going to be the case this game, but you've got really nice ways to protect the Phoenix. Like, you take a look, Void's going to be able to find the snap to get rid of that little shredder potential. Even if Snapfire is utilizing the kisses, you're able to find him on the backline, which I think is an important thing. I like heroes that are able to kind of reach the backline and stop Snapfire from, you know, kind of playing around with that ulti, because you are vulnerable when you pop the Mortimer kisses. And it's another way that throughout the later portions of the game, I think it's good against the Mars. Like, you get out of the arena. The one thing I don't like about the sparking lineup is they don't have any save right now. So from the chain lockdown that PSG.LGD are going to have, no real way to kite out the Ursa. Like, a couple of stuns, it's not the greatest. So if they can go for like a mid hero who's a little bit better at that, I'm trying to think of who I might like though. Like Conker could be pretty decent because you don't have last pick. So you do need like Conker. Puck is relatively actually good this game as well. Like, it's actually a pretty good Puck game. Rubik's the only one with the catch, like the reliable catch cookie, a projectile. So it's too long. The Mars spear, of course. So it's just reliant on the Rubik to be able to find that. The issue is though, if Rubik does find the stun, then they lock down the Puck and he's just dead. So it is still a pretty decent game for any mobility heroes. It has to be, I think, some kind of space-making hero. Is DP banned? Yep, DP's banned, okay.
PSG.LGD.
It's always a hero that I feel like it gets kind of picked in this role as well. Like, similar, when you have 9th pick and you're looking for a mid, I feel like the Lina and Conker's value always gets increased because they don't really lose a lot of lane matchups mid. They're pretty decent. It gives you damage in chrono, lane shoving potential, which they actually have a decent amount, but it's that factor that I was talking about. Someone who can kind of control the Ursa. You've Yule's builder, you've got a stun, and you're able to kind of make plays early. Like, you do kind of wait for the Yules, but you are someone that's able to group up. And they also kind of protect the Lina with the Templar Assassin band. So PSG.LGD right now, they need kind of a tower hitter for Somnus. Like, the DK could get picked up, but against the Timber, they're going to have 3 strength heroes. I think that's a little rough. Because the Ursa's not very good at taking towers. He's good at taking Roche, but apart from that, he's going to struggle. So this has to be their win condition from PSG.LGD. So it could be something like a Shadow Fiend potentially. Because the Ursa's not your win condition. Unless you can get a hero that's able to group up around the Ursa and just kind of end the game. Like, just like kind of death ball and end, like, you destroy the Timber lane. Bot's going to be pretty good as well with the Mars Rubik. What are they? Yeah, a lot of the win condition mids are either like the OD, that's actually really good versus the Timber. So the OD, the Shadow Fiend, they already kind of deal with the Phoenix Egg, but the Shadow Fiend will increase that. Trying to think if I need to get my hero sheet. I got no idea where it is.
The sack.
You may now select your heroes.
Is it a? It is a Lesh mid. So this is a hero that what it gives them is a way to end relatively fast. A lot of magic damage. You can group up early with the Ursa. It's not as hard as a win condition hero as what I might have thought they were going. Like, that's why I brought up the Shadow Fiend and the OD. But what the Lesh does provide them is someone to take objectives, which they were needing. You know, the Ursa's not very good. The Mars isn't like a Centaur in that regard. So the Lesh track is going to give them a way to be able to take towers. And also, it's a lot of burst damage. So Void's going to... Until Void gets BKB, he's going to struggle. And you can kind of mirror the movements on the Lina. Like, both these heroes are able to make a lot of fast-paced plays because of the movement speed you get from A to B. If Lina leaves the lane, then Lesh puts pressure on the tower. another stun as well is always nice. More magic damage to deal with the Timber. I like the draft from LGD. I'm a little worried if they don't win the lanes, then this game gets really difficult because an Ursa playing from behind is shit. It's awful. You hate to see it. So we'll see how this is actually able to fare. Usually teams that I think have the better lanes and the better early game, I would predict them just because of how the meta's kind of transitioning. Like games are just ending super fast. So usually I'd probably say something like that, but your Ursa right now feels a little lackluster. A little lackluster, unfortunately. Wait, let me get in the game and then I'll do it before the haunt. Trying to get comfy first. Hope everyone is having a wonderful Easter though. I guess I'm actually kind of ahead of the world, so all getting some chocolates, celebrating while we're in this pandemic, but we are still able to enjoy Easter for anyone that does celebrate it or still likes the holiday, etc. So what are they gonna do here? Chill's gonna come top with them. I guess they're just trying to find a first blood here. I'm trying to see. I feel like you pick the Ursa. Like, yes, it's really good. I mean, the Mars Rubik's gonna have a fine time versus the Void, so I can't imagine Chalice is going to... Like, they wouldn't put the Mars versus the Timber, so they're just gonna try and find first blood here with this smoke. It also allows them to get an aggressive ward across that mid lane. But you see Dire playing super passive right now, actually. They're gonna... Okay, so this makes me feel like they are very much prioritizing the lanes right now. You take a look with this observe ward, they think they're just gonna dodge, but it looks like OP's already bot. So what this ward tells me is that, and it's very similar to the ward down bot as well, or kind of any kind of very deep, it's very good at scouting out the lane, because a lot of time you're blocking the creep wave, you know, playing near that tower. They've just got one. They got another deep ward as well. You take a look. This is kind of similar. Not as far as what, you know, maybe the one on the higher ground here or further back. But they will scout out Chalice. So we'll see if the Timber does actually hold his spot down to the bottom lane. But, alright, so they got good ways to deal with the egg. I'm just going to go Radiant's lineup. I think Radiant have a much better laning stage. Like the Rubik Mars is going to be pretty good against the Ogre Void. I don't know how well Ogre's going to be able to trade in this matchup, actually. I mean, yeah, you see. He's actually got Ignite level 1, which is kind of interesting. A lot of the time you see that blood loss, especially with the Orb of Venom, so... Level 2s from PSG.LGD at this top side is going to be incredibly important. Let's see if they're able to hit that at a decent timing. The mid lane, I think, is just a little Lina favored. Just because the attack range is a lot higher. I say a lot higher. It's only 70 higher, but you do have a kind of a better harass in the Dragon Slave, as we see DD just giving the treatment over to Somnus at that mid lane, forced to pop the self here. Wards on top of each other as well there, but FY? Ooh, he's also boots. Is he gonna dive for this? No. I was gonna say I've seen a couple people dive that definitely not worth it, because he give up first blood there, so. But this bottom lane, it's another... Okay, so a lot of times when I'm seeing Timbers have a bad lane matchup, they're going for Timber Chain level 1. It's the mobility that's super important, because early on, people don't have the damage to be able to kill someone through like one stun. Like, you take a look, I mean, if they get a cookie stun, there's no way Ursa is going to kill Timber throughout that. And it's more the fact that it's just really nice to be able to secure your lane CS. When you take a look, what's he got right now? He's got 6. Yeah, so, you know, Ursa's got pretty bad base damage as well, but he utilizes his laning stage just kind of harassing out someone throughout the lane. His AG game's pretty trash too, so we'll see how that's able to fare. I mean, I think the levels into it. Level 2's there, up top. FI still doesn't have his, unfortunately, so they missed the God's Rebuke. I think old 11 actually got body blocked there by the creep, so FI just needed one more creep, and he might have actually hit the level 2. So if he got that, that was definitely a kill. Unfortunately, they're going to miss out on first blood there. If does still get the pull off, maybe Red Panda's going to be able to block that. No, he doesn't. So now they're going to be able to have the creep equilibrium on their side here, but Somnus mid is actually, he's getting the works. DD's doing a good job here. 9 to 8, 5 to 0. Not too high of you take a look. I mean, Mars 16 last hits, and then the mid lane's got 9, so it looks like DD is utilizing a lot more harass instead of trying to last it. Got the range creep deny. Down bot. Chalice is on the run here. OP cleans him up. Now this is a matchup that's, I mean, Ursa versus the Timber. Like I said, if Ursa falls behind, it's not a good lane matchup. Sorry, I should say it's not good, because Ursa's not a hero that's able to catch up, and X Nova's going to drop as well, probably. Felix. Oh, the abilities are on cooldown. Okay. Not going to be able to find that kill there, but that is not a first blood I'd expect with the Ursa. End up falling down to this bottom side here. So, I mean, it was similar to yesterday. I think there was like a Timber Monkey King lane, and then somehow the Timber just won, and then the game was over. Like, you give Timber a good start. He's, you know, we've still seen a couple nerfs, but this hero is incredibly strong. And right now, Dire, I mean, that's the only thing I was worried about for Dire. Like, if they've got to get out of the laning stage, and I mean, if they're ahead out of the laning stage, then I'd favor them. But until that stage, we'll see how they're able to fare. But might be a fight around the top power end here. A fight. Gonna drag him back. Somnus doesn't have a lot of mana now, so utilizing the right clicks, but looks like with the Fairy Fire, Somnus will be able to stay alive. That Fade Bolt actually damage reduction on the creep was enough to keep the Leshrac alive. I see that, but Felix has got a haste with the dive as well, closes the distance. This does leave OP now solo, so you see straight away they're starting to pressure. But Chalice isn't doing a whole lot of damage right now. OP's able to trade relatively well, even has 2 points up in the chain, so you take a look. He's just going to try and get aggressive here and doesn't want to try and tank up. He actually might find X Nova. Cookie Stun's there. OP has the chain. It's going to use it defensively. You take a look at the damage coming through from the Pure, though. And Chelsea, he's going to get turned on here, potentially. Doesn't have enough mana for double the abilities, but with the Phoenix rotating over, he's got level 2 in both the dive and the spirits here, so Chalice has the stick. Does stay alive, but that's fine. I mean, they force him out. They're incredibly weak, so they can't kind of contest the bounty runes, and I believe it's going to be 3 for... Yeah, it's going to be 3 for Dire. I mean, this is not good. They've left... Mars is solo right now. Looks like FY is having to help out mid because of the Lina Lesh matchup. So, I mean, Somnus is their win condition, I think. It is kind of the... I say that. Mars is also... Mars is actually having a really good time top. I thought they were going to be able to kill the... Oh, that was really weird. I thought they were going to be able to kill the Void a little bit more with the Rubik. That was the big issue, though. That he missed... He didn't have the level 2 when they tried to find the kill. And it really kind of put pressure on them. Because that would have been first blood. And then bot would have gone... Because then Timber got Soul Ring at a much earlier time. So you take a look. They're just going to try and help out mid here. A lot of emphasis around their power runes. Will be a region up top that Somnus just... What's he got? Oof. He's been trying to bring out a lot of region to stay afloat. They might actually be able to pop majority of that with Red Panda rotating over. Now he's able to set up for the LSA. DD a little bit too far behind, but they're able to get the slows coming through. And now with the telekinesis drag back, Sun's up on 1, but still Somnus is just chased down here. Nothing that FI can do. I guess denies the creep there, but this catapulters. In the meantime, bottom lane OP will end up dropping. Almost turns on Chalice, but looks like he just hit that level 6 as well. So really nicely done. LGD, at least they trade bot, because Timber was getting a lot out of this lane. So Chalice is done. He's still okay with that early death, but at least they're able to find the kill on the Timber. So lane's going even, which a little worried about considering, but I guess, at least it's not out of control. Recently we've seen a lot of games that have just gone like completely out of control out of the laning stage, and I like this movement. I mean, God King's about to hit level 6. I'm kind of surprised that they're actually bringing OP to this lane as well. So Mars is going to be under some threat here. Nice use of the arena. Holds back both of them here, so it's just Red Panda fighting. He does have that time dilation. So Old 11 won't be able to utilize any of the abilities. So they do force the arena out. A TP as well coming through from X Nova. But the issue is that now Timber's top. So it looks like Void has to now jungle. Unless, I mean, Timber can probably chain all the way to bot, but they're actually going to get him out of the Ursa matchup. So now that Ursa has level 6, they've got a lot of kill threat, and they're looking to pressure here. See that instead the pressure comes in top as Old 11 does drop. So I mean, I'd say Radiant probably need to follow this lane matchup. Like, you don't want the Mars versus the Timber. That whirling death damage versus the pure, versus the strength here is just way too much.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Felix has dive. I think that he kills a little bit too difficult, but yeah, dive. Minimal net worth advantage. Take a look. The big issue is that Somnus right now. I mean, he had to buy a lot of regen because of the Lina harass. DD doesn't have too much net worth as well, so you know, we'll see if they're going to try and set up mid. They have a deep observe ward, but they haven't seen this TP yet. If you, they're going to scout out Mars, so they will be aware of the movement. He's still just going to go back to top, so I thought he was actually going to go bottom here. Instead, he'll hold his lane. They're still giving Chalice at least a good time. He's going to try and get the Morbid Mask, and then we'll see what he's able to do after it. You know, if he wants that Mask of Madness. We've seen, like, the Morbid Mask into, like, the Basher. Potentially, you know, BKB is definitely going to be needed as well. But OP, he's in trouble here. The lead in the cookie. Chain locked down with the damage coming through for the Leshrac. Somnus, nice rotation for him. He finds a kill. The issue is that Somnus hasn't got any points in the Edict right now. He's gone for a 3-0-2 with 1 point in the ultimate. So this is a little worrisome because they have a lineup that still the Faceless Void is very reliant around Chronosphere. Like, Dire cooldown reliant right now. You Chrono, Phoenix Egg. Apart from that, they can't really take fights. Then it's kind of the Lina and maybe the Timber making plays across the map. So I'm kind of surprised that the Lesh hasn't gone for a couple more points in Edict. I guess this is because he wants to be able to flash farm the jungle a little bit faster. But you see, I mean, there's a stack. I don't see any others, but if he's able to catch up slightly, then the pressure, the gold they can get from towers will be incredibly worth it. As we see, they're going to smoke up around this 10-minute interval here. X-Nova is going to be able to take the outpost top. So nicely done. They'll get both outposts. They're not going to get too many bounties. It looks like just one bounty again. So this is helping out SAG a lot. We saw that 5-minute bounty timing where they got 3. Now at the 10-minute, they're going to get 3 again. But they are still going to make a smoke movement. And so this is the second smoke. They're going to head towards bottom. OP's the target. He's a tricky hero to bring down, and Chalice is very weak as well, but he's already chained. He does have Phoenix in the backline. The Fire Spirits are going to help out. Gets the attack speed slow, but nicely done. Leshrac holding OP in place. Going to try and get the status resistance. Faceless Void has the Chrono. Will utilize the lockdown, even with the Supernova. So Chalice does pay the price here. Use a couple of ultimates. Radiant have to get aggressive straight away now as we see top. Old 11 finds the Lina. Even Somnus is going to show up here. Diddy does commit the ultimate for this. I'm just trying to harass as much as possible. Alright, so the Radiant, they have to put pressure on the map. Chrono's down, Supernova's down. You've got to try and take some towers as we see OP. This is a difficult kill. FI does have the spell steal, and with the pure damage, it's a lot. They bring him down in our Red Panda as well. But Telekinesis, oh, it doesn't actually find too many kisses. Looks like they are off the mark a little bit, but they should be able to chase him. Has the Scatter Blast, so he's going to be able to find the slow. And even though the Ogre's pretty tanky, FY finds a double kill. So this is the beautiful thing. The Rubik versus the Timber. You know, a hero that is very much protected against the physical damage. You also like to go for a hood a majority of the time. But the pure damage that you're able to steal, I mean, you see he's got 3 points in the chain. Not a whole lot in the reactive armor, so not as tanky as what he'd like to be. Okay, good. And also, like, the Whirling Death, you know, we're all well aware Timbers versus Strength Heroes is just absolutely awful to play. It just feels so rough. I mean, that percent damage shredding through anyone, taking them like all their health away, all the stats. And I mean, you just, it's, you know, you're in poison on Timber. Put it back on him. It's so nice to OP. Well, he's going to be on a threat here again. Chain to follow up FI. Nice play from OP. You know, we've all seen it's super nice being able to kill, like, you know, say like a Viper, you know, the poison, we constantly die from like the Viper strike or something, and then you get a Rubik who's able to steal it and then use that ability back on him. Just like the toxic abilities, the ones that are just so good against enemies but also just destroy your hero as well if it does get stolen. Like the Timber's one of them with the Whirling Death. 16% stat loss on a strength hero is incredibly high for maxed out Felix. We find here, I mean, my issue is that Radiant haven't taken any objectives, but now OP is under some pressure here. Jump the arena, holds back Red Panda and gain. The Chronosphere isn't available just yet. 5 seconds until it's up, so Die, they feel pretty content with taking this engagement here with OP. He has the hood, so he's able to tank through the magical damage. Next Nova will drop. Radiant, they've got to disengage here. Chalice even utilizing the Q Earthshock mobility. I wonder if they can Roche now, because Die TP, I think they actually should go Roche. They have a smoke? They don't. If they went Roche straight away, they take it, because Die, all of them TP'd bot. They didn't use Chronosphere, they didn't use Supernova as well, but if they just beelined it straight to mid, I think they'd be able to kill it fast enough. That's really important. The fact that Sparking Arrow don't need to use any big ultis to find that kill and then find the tier 1 tower as well. What is the Void going for? Looks like he's going Diffusal. Actually, both. Really fine. It is the Void. Alright. So just getting a little bit too aggressive. They didn't have they didn't have any vision in the jungle. Didn't really see where the Radiant lineup was playing there. So that's a nice kill. You do see Chalice as well has the Mask of Mana, so wait, his gloves are massive. Not there, it doesn't look too bad. I know it's the claws, but he's got some big ass gloves on. Man's chunked in for the winter. There's that Whirling Death as well, but so far Die feel pretty content. You know, they didn't get run over throughout the laning stage. You know, the Void's been able to get farmed. The issue is that now Somnus is caught up. Like, he's had a lot of space. He's been able to find a couple of kills. He got the tower top, farming up kind of this poor man's triangle camp, which you can do incredibly fast. You know, stack these up because of how close they are. The Radiant camp around the bounty is very similar to the Dire camp around the kind of above the mid tier 1 tower, where they're very close together, so you can, at the perfect timing, you can double stack them. Is he going bots? He is. So I'm just going to go for the Boots of Travel, which is definitely has got nerfed on these intel heroes, the spamming intels, but I think it is still a really nice item, and the Void's going to be in trouble here. They've got the Yule set up. There is a tier 1 tower to TP to. Do they have the chain lockdown? And it's going to come through. Beautifully done. Somnus starting to get active. He's got the Edict maxed out as well. And there's more rotations. So who TP'd? Phoenix. I believe Lena TP'd as well. So again, they are forcing 2 TP rotations. Old 11. Looks like he might pay the price here. Has his own teleport available, but unfortunately with the stun lock from SAG, they won't allow that. He's relatively tanky, so Radiant going to use this space to try and get the lane shoved out. He'll waste as much time as possible. But again, like, that is a movement down bot where I feel like they just go Roche afterwards. Or maybe they can find mid potentially. So they baiting the power rune. OP's in a really good spot here. With an Arcane Rune top, unfortunately. Saw the time walk, okay. And yeah, Piers Roaching. I love this. I mean, they made a lot of movements down bot, and Chalice in about 5 seconds should be able to take it, especially with the Enrage here. So do they give it to Chalice or Somnus? Looks like Somnus wants it. And he's going to be able to find it here. Okay. So a double mana pull for the Lesh is really important. That's the main thing. He's the one to kind of siege. Yes, the Ursa wants to get aggressive, but rage duration now from 4 to it's not a flat 4. I know they changed it. I'm just double checking that I remember the change. The cooldown got reduced a lot at the early levels, which is nice. The status resistance is the big thing, though. It's very difficult to be able to kite him throughout the ulti. They might be able to punish, actually. Didi had to go back to try and find the item here. It's just FY at the moment, but being able to steal the LSC with 3 points in it will end up falling, but Chalice should be able to close the distance. Pops the Mask of Mana, so can't find the slow. The last second will be able to. Has the clumsy net as well. Sets off for X-Nova's Mortimer Kisses. It's not easy to land, however, because of the movement speed coming through from the Lina. So DD with another stun. He does have the status resistance, however. Chalice beautifully played, able to get the ultimate just in time before the LSA does connect, so secures the kill. In the meantime, top as well. Somnus.
Radiant's middle tower is under
Surprised he
attack.
actually didn't go for the Phoenix, but in the meantime...
Radiant structures are fortified.
Wow, God King's actually going for a... Sanjin Yasha. Okay. That's really interesting. I was going to say maybe it's like a Yasha into a different item, like he might just go Manta straight away. The Sanjin Yasha, huh? Okay, I mean, the stats are going to be nice. I wonder if he goes Sanjin Yasha into Burka B. Both the mid laners get the... They're actually like identical. They both just got Yules and Boots of Travel. I mean, the Lesh is a little bit more farm. I'm actually very surprised at how Somnus has been able to catch up. He's done an incredible job of being able to farm up the jungle, even though Lina is kind of ahead in the CS. They don't even have this tower advantage, so Somnus has just done really well finding the stacks, and
Dire's bottom
he's
tower
gonna go
is
Bloodstone
under
next item as well. So no BKB for him, just utilizing, I mean, the Bloodstone just amplifies how much damage you're able to put out. OP. You do have Chels in the areas around the ancient camp, but he doesn't have a lot of mobility at the moment. They seem pretty content with just giving Chels some space right now, which seems like I've seen a lot of Ursas just kind of play like this. You play the jungle, you really want that like second item, it feels like. The Mom into whether it is the BKB, you know, he had the Basher queued up, but Red Panda. The Sunray here, I don't think it's enough. Last Shack just way too much magic damage. They're going to collapse here as well. Nice, just the Chronosphere catches out 3. Ursa's going to run into it. However, the Timbersaw, Mortimer Kisses, not a lot of damage here. Mars is going to get brought down thanks to the magic cooling. Now Chalice, he can't kill the Phoenix Egg as well. They do have the second life, and now turns her attention back to the Timbersaw with the bash coming through. Ursa secures the kill. He's got to be careful. That Spirit Vessel doing a lot of work against the Ursa here. So he's unable to man fight too much, and now they're even going to be able to find Somnus. DD walks up the higher ground with the LSA, connects on the Lash. He does have the U-Scepter with the Pulse Nova doing so much work. God King forced to time walk back defensively. They're still going to potentially take this. I mean, Red Panda, they've got the vision on the higher ground to X Nova. Alright. Kind of just standing there mute. I mean, won't be able to find that kill. Felix, they're too strong. I mean, this Spirit Vessel, wow. That actually destroyed the Ursa there. He couldn't get any life steal at all. But, I mean, there you go. Radiant do have this net worth lead still, so they found... I mean, they trade about even on kills. Again, they're not going to get too many bounties, though. Looks like it's actually 2, so more than they got beforehand. But Somnus is getting very, very farmed. You see the play that he's able to make. We'll see if he does commit for the Kaya. He might go BKB next. Chalice is going to go for the BKB next though. Okay, so... Well, that was a beautiful fight. The Chrono went to 3, you get the Supernova that didn't get brought down. I'm kind of surprised they didn't actually kill more heroes, but it feels like after that, you know, the Void doesn't have a whole lot of damage right now. Void's actually going to go to Satanic next item, so... But PSG.LGD, they want to continue putting some pressure on the map here. Try and infiltrate the jungle. Find objectives. That is the one thing that Dire lack at the moment, being able to take towers. You know, the Lina, until you're able to get a little bit more damage, did go for that plus 35. You know, until the Void gets a couple more items. They don't have like the guaranteed tower pusher like Radiant do in the Leshrac. FY is actually incredibly farmed as well. This could be the... I think FY is going to be the one to make the plays this game. Like, there's some really good abilities to steal. You've already got Blink Aetherlens, 2, 1, and 3, 73 last hits. I actually think FY is going to be the X factor. We'll see the amount of plays he's going to be able to make, but they're going to smoke down bot. We'll pop here. Felix looks like he's going to be the sacrificial lamb. Unfortunately for him. At least they do keep Diddy alive there. It's a nice movement. They try and smoke down bot, find a pick off, then get the lane shoved in because they want this bottom tower. I thought they would have gone top tier 2 first, but this is a very, very big tower to TP. the your offlane tower is so important for map control, especially Radiant, because it gets you to Roche. But this just means like Radiant, it's very difficult for them to smoke down and take fights like kind of near that hard camp because of how close that TP point is. Now it just makes it further that Dire have to run to get into this bottom side of the map. But usually it is the spot they want to control. I'm actually surprised they're even trying to force out this tier 2 tower, considering they're mid lane. Ursa, straight on top of OP. You accept it from Somnus. There's going to be a kill here. Odd 11's off to the side as well. They have the spear, connects up against the wall. Beautifully done. Just that last second Yule's coming through from Somnus. The movement speed able to get there. I mean, you take a look. They also stole Bloodlust, but they're going to continue putting some pressure on. Lina controlled. FY finds a telekinesis. The Chrono latches onto 3. They've got the egg as well, but where's the damage coming through? 2 heroes. They control from their own Chronosphere. Now the arena as well. Snapfire going to try and disengage here. FY's in the backline. It's a lot of damage. They're all grouped up, and they're going to turn around. LGD. They'll find the Lina. Tries to kill FY, but it's not enough damage. And SAG. Oh no. That's the second Chronosphere in a row where we've seen it connect onto a couple heroes there, and they just didn't have the damage. Yes, the Chrono and the Supernova was nice, but... Uh-oh. This is getting scary now. PSG.LGD is starting to slowly formulate a net worth lead. And this is right before Roshan as well. I mean, you see Mei respawning 40 seconds. The map control that they're going to be able to provide is... I mean, Lesh can just snowball out of control now with this Bloodstone. I guess, I mean, it looks like this is... I said in the draft... Oh, actually, hang on. OP. And fight. Initiation once again. Felix on the backline here. This could be a little deep though. Oh, Chalice, so much damage! It's actually Somnus that is TPing. I thought it was the Lina. Oh, I think she'd cancelled it, potentially. Yeah, I think she did cancel it, so... Did he get the Bloodstone? Oh, he didn't. Unfortunate there. But now, yeah, they're going to find another tower here. Oh, this is so important. Now, FI once again. With a setup there. Find the stun. They'll find the damage. 15 Bloodstone charges. Now, I mean, this game is just out of control. Radiant are playing so fast. This is what can happen with a Void. Like, you lose your jungle, and then even if you find Chronospheres... Like, he found a good Chrono there. I say that it was onto a couple of his teammates, but it's that Dire don't have, like, the Ogre can't make plays. The Phoenix can't really make plays either. So once Chrono's down, like, who on Dire is able to make plays across the map? And you see they don't have a hero to do that. Chalice is playing very aggressive at the moment, along with Old 11. Right, I mean, this is the first time they're going to be able to claim all the bounties, at least more than 2 as well. They're about to get some key items. FY finds Phoenix. They'll need a couple bashes here with the LSA full power. But FY still has this stolen ability. Chrono's up in 10 seconds. Radiant, this could still be a fight they want to take here. They do lose that Observe Ward. And Dire have a good one on the higher ground. Gives them the advantage in the vision. But you take a look at these Observe Wards that they actually have around kind of the top bounty rune. I mean, they're completely useless right now with Radiant's positioning. They are just not seeing anything across the map. And, well, you know what they see? A free Lina kill, potentially. Somnus just has so much damage at the moment on the backline. It is God King. Finds a Chrono, but a quick Ewer Scepter actually might give enough time for the Leshrac to stay alive here. X-Nova cleans up the Lina on the backline. And now with the Mortimer Kisses, lays into the Void as well. That's 4 dead on SAG. They do have a buyback on all of them. Phoenix is about to be up as well, but they can just walk up high ground here. I mean, Lesh just sieges so fast, and Chalice as well. He needs a bash. Doesn't want to put them on. Oh, Somnus actually closing the distance here. Timber's going to be careful. If they dive a little bit too far, they might pay the price here. Defensive Ewer Scepter, but the stun preemptively before the dive. Phoenix going to get caught out. They just call it. Oh my lord, PSG.LGD, they take game 1. Sparking Arrow. Even with a couple of buybacks, they know the Chrono just got used there, so they can't hold the higher ground. Wow, I mean, the laning stage went a lot better for Sparking than what I imagine. But this is the issue about the Void and the Phoenix, that you are very cooldown reliant. and you had a lineup that wasn't able to make plays. Like, you could only do something when Chrono and Egg was up. Apart from that, Phoenix and Ogre aren't playmaking supports, and you kind of have this three who you want to group behind. Like, Timber's incredibly tanky. You want to group up kind of as 5, maybe as 4, and allow your core to farm, your position 1 to farm. But they just weren't able to do that. Like, PSG.LGD were able to hit this kind of mid-game timing a lot faster and a lot easier than what Sparking had. You know, they just had the damage. In the end, they were able to outplay them. Very fast pace from Sparking. Honestly, the Lesh, I brought up in the draft that I thought they might go for a harder win condition like the OD or the Shadow Fiend, but the Lesh just thrived this game. The mid matchup struggled. You know, we take a look what it was. 10 minutes in, where this player's net worth. Well, she's actually doing pretty good by then, but yeah, I mean, it's about 7 in. Lesh is kind of, you know, bottom 4. So struggling at the moment. Yeah, his 7th net worth, but it just caught up in the end. I mean, they did have a lot of stacks. How many? Let's take a look real quick before we do say goodbye. Where is the stack count? There it is. Snapfire had 4, Rubik 3, Leshrac 2. Okay, so yeah, they did make a fair amount of stacks. I wasn't sure if it was mainly the Lesh making them or not. So, you know, this has just enabled Summoners to be able to catch up. And in the end, I mean, Lesh is very good against the Void and the Timber. So it was an incredible pick from them. Just struggled in the laning stage, which I thought it might be a little bit of a leaner favored matchup. And, you know, LGD in the end, you know, they hit that mid-game timing. You know, they did reasonably well throughout the laning stage, got their items, and they were just able to transition that into a advantage and a fast-paced play where they were able to end up taking down Sparking Arrow. This is only game 1, ladies and gentlemen. 26 minutes in victory for the boys over on Radiant. We'll see what's going to happen in our second game. Quick break, probably only about 10 minutes until we'll have our next matchup.